Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lady Layer. We
Woo.
are live today again. It is Friday the 31st, y'all.
Yes, finally.
Right. January's over. We're gonna hope for a better February. You know, the draft month is done.
Right.
So yeah, so it's been a lot of stuff buzzing today. So we actually have a buzz layer today. I don't know if you guys noticed or if you guys have heard, but Melody has announced her exit from Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm gonna just say it's a long time coming because
Yeah.
it's been a lot going on with the drama, and I think that she's outgrown Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I'm happy that
Yeah.
she's decided to do something in her own interest,
Yeah, I agree because I mean the show is called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it began with the her and Martell's marriage, and with her no longer being married to him, and she really doesn't want to be around him at all. She's not really getting along too much with the rest of the cast, so I think she has served her time, and she has outgrown it. Like you said, she's moved on to her businesses and other things that she has going on. I think that she got a lot out of it because she
Mhm.
has some dedicated fans. I will say
Right.
that. Like she has a whole cult like following.
Mhm.
And just today, when the news broke, child, people been on live all day talking about this. And so it just goes to show how much of an impact that she has made on people. She is not one of my favorite people. However, I cannot deny that the lady came and did what she needed to do. She
Mhm.
has built up her empire and growing. And so
And
I pray,
she used that platform to help propel her career. Like now
yes,
she in Tubi movies now. Like, look, she out here living. I'm just wondering what Martell gonna do because he can't use her for his drama no more. Already you can see he trying to attack Marceau and Letitia.
I have a
But yeah.
theory.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like Martell is going to push to get coleslaw, is what they call her. Arian, his baby mama, I feel like he is going to push to get her on the show. I think Carlos wanted to bring her on a while ago, but Melody wasn't having it. And I feel like it's going to be like a Phaedra Candy situation where Candy left and now Phaedra is welcome back. I feel like Arian might have a foothold now because with Melody being gone, they need more drama. Martell definitely doesn't want to leave because this is his check. So he's
Mhm.
gonna need a new storyline. The whole Trisha saga is sure hopefully will be over.
Yeah, I
That's
kind
been
of
his
don't
whole
want them to come back.
Trisha and Ken. Yeah, I'm over it.
Mhm. Yeah.
I agree. I'm over it. I don't feel like I don't even know if their relationship is gonna last through whatever they got going on. But as far as Martell goes, I feel like he gonna try to bring Arian.
Yeah, I can see that. But is it so? This is my only gripe about him bringing Arian. Is it gonna be another round of the Sunny Destiny thing? Like, granted, Melanie ain't there, but Tisha got beef with Arian because of the linebacker live they did. Like, I just feel like, and I'm sure because Tisha got issues with her, Kimmy ain't gonna be talking to her. So, you know,
And I think that is Carlos's angle. However, it didn't work well because
yeah.
the Sunny got iced out, so nobody's inviting her to lunches. Nobody wants to sit with her, so we didn't really see her much this
Mm-hmm.
second half of the season. And so I don't know. I don't know if that would be a good choice. I think it's something that the viewers might kind of grasp onto with like her being on there and her actually getting to tell her side of the story and stuff like that. I think it would be good for drama, but it might get annoying, like you
Yeah.
said, with just the whole storyline.
Yeah. All right, and then today, Bravo. Somebody must have been channeling Oprah because everybody got a trailer.
You get
You
a
get a
trailer, you get
trailer.
a trailer,
You
you
get a
get a
trailer.
trailer.
You get a trailer. So yeah, so we had a trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine. Like, listen,
All the
everybody.
trailers. Real Housewives of Atlanta, people have been asking for this trailer for the longest. It looks like the show is going to air mid-March. And so we finally got a trailer. Now let me just say, the looks in this trailer, I feel like Shamia, what happened? I
Mm,
know they sent the color palette, but did they not send the mood board? Did she purposefully decide
maybe.
to wear her thotty outfit in the opening credits
With her bang gang. Like, I needed her to put on a wig.
I'm not entirely mad at the shortcut, but the outfit completely threw me off because it's like, okay, girl, you got the cheetah print that's going with the theme. Everybody is giving, those colors. You got the little nasty shorts on with the nasty boots. Why is this happening? It's 2025.
I'm mad at the short haircut because it look a week old. I'm cool with a short haircut, but could it be fresh? That's why I said it's a bang because it looked a week old. Like,
I don't understand. I have questions, and I was looking through the comments. I'm mad nobody else was like, so like everybody has on gowns.
Yeah, maybe she wants to be sporty. I don't know. She always gives a little tacky to me, so
yeah, maybe that was why it was on brand for her, I guess.
Yeah.
Did not like it. What you think about the trailer? Are we interested? Are we excited?
I think I gotta watch because most of them they already didn't talk about most of the drama. So
true.
Like I wasn't surprised about Drew and Dennis in the studio because they already didn't talked about it. I wasn't surprised about Kenya exposing Britt 80. They already talked about it. Everybody knows Simon and Portia's drama. So I'm just waiting to see what's actually gonna be new.
I know, because I feel like they took so long to put it out that, like you said, they need to put some type of stipulations on what you can post on social media because it ruins the season. Like, we know everything that was going on and now it's old news. And like now y'all gonna try to filter in the pieces and we're gonna be like, okay, but we already knew what happened. So
right. I mean, I guess now we can actually see like the details, but like,
do we care because we know what the outcome was?
We've already formed our opinion, like
right. And it sucks for the new girls because a lot of people have already formed their opinions about them without even getting to know them or what's going on. I feel like they're not really going to get a fair shot. So I don't know. I'm not super excited, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
It's out. Simon is already up in arms. Again, what's going to piss us off is Simon is going to be live every is it going to come on Sunday?
Every episode. I don't know which day is coming on, but every episode
he is going to be ready.
He's going to be like, that's because he already coming from Miss Diane, and Miss Diane didn't even mention him. She just said somebody was frauding and scamming. It's a lot of frauds and scammers in the world. Simon,
especially in Atlanta, but we all know who she was talking about.
Listen, she didn't say no names. I don't know who she's talking about. I feel like it might be a little bit of a guilty conscience. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you see, Dennis, one thing about Dennis, he gonna make sure he on that show, okay?
Right. Even if he gotta pretend to have a little thing with Drew, child. Right. And I don't even know why Portia cared whether or not he's sleeping with Drew or not, because girl, you don't want that man. Let him sleep with who he wants to.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess that was her friend, but I don't know.
But the way they be interacting, him and Portia might still be doing their thing on the side.
I hope not.
Anywho, so we got the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion trailer, and surprise, surprise, Karen, although they said she would not be on the reunion, she is there via live stream from rehab. It seems to be that she is reporting live from rehab. And they give us a little teaser about her coming, and she put her head down. They really didn't say what she had to say.
She looking crazy, looking real crackish.
Right. Cut to Wendy. Wendy says something alluding to the fact that she knows for sure that she's not her friend anymore, whatever.
But was she talking about Karen? Because I feel like that could have been about somebody else. Like,
yeah, they could just be piecing it together.
Yeah, like, I feel like maybe she was talking about Giselle.
Yeah. I don't know though, because we did get the rest of the season has to play out, but this new episode we're supposed to see Stacey revealing things that Karen said about Wendy, and then we don't know if Wendy finds out during the season the things that Karen said or allegedly said. So she could be finding out at the reunion things that she said, and could be, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Right.
And then they cut to a scene where the guys are in the dressing room and they're on the phone talking to TJ, and they're all looking all surprised or whatever. And then they come back to the scene on the stage, and Wendy is like, Eddie talked to TJ in the dressing room. And then they like bring out Eddie. Everybody is excited for Eddie to come out because Eddie got the tea.
Right.
Yeah. So we have to see what the tea Eddie got. Okay.
Right. I'm mad that they had that picture of Karen the whole reunion. Like, why y'all acting like she died? She at the rehab place. Leave her alone, okay?
Right.
And I don't like that they like. I feel like I get it. They have to talk about Karen, but like, don't be bringing up new allegations and then she ain't there to defend herself. Like trying to say that her boyfriend was in the car with her and all of this stuff. Like, why you didn't say that on the show?
And the comment about I guess Wendy said she talked to somebody that says she comes and gets drunk every day. I'm like,
yeah. Like y'all could have talked about that while she was there. Like,
well, I think all this stuff probably came out after the fact. I'm sure.
I don't know,
but we don't know when they wrapped filming. Clearly, because nobody saw those tapes until after filming was wrapped.
Right, I get that, but like, I don't.
So all this other, what I'm saying is, all this other stuff could have came out after. Because you think if they had, you think if what is her name? Shoot, the girl that did the drag show.
Ashley.
You think if Ashley had this type of information, she would have said on it?
Well, no, I don't, but I just don't like that she can't like.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this is.
I don't like that either.
Yeah,
I don't like that either. But I don't think that if they had the information before, they would have held on to it. Now, Wendy, I don't know, because at the time she was still
they was friends.
Yeah, so she could have held on to it. But Ashley, if she had any type of tea, I know she would have served that up quickly.
Right. Ashley, yes. Wendy, no.
Yeah, I think Wendy would have saved it because she, as we saw in the clips that they showed, she rides for Karen.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks that if what Stacey is saying to be true, that would be very hurtful because she does defend her in her absence. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then we had the Married to Medicine mid-season trailer. And we had a whole lot of commotion. They've been showing the same clip since before the season aired about the fight on the beach. So we know King and Greg get into it.
I can't wait to see what the actual fight is because on the preview, it said that it was a continuation of the night before. So what happened?
Right. And then we see the scene where all the ladies are gathering around Tisha and trying to calm her down, like, breathe, sis, calm down. And so I'm like, do Tisha come for Quad because the man is fighting? Or was she trying to jump in and help her man and then Quad jump on her? Because we see Quad over there by her man huffing and puffing. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, how did it go down? And then we see, after the fact, there's like
somebody mentions they mentioned the restraining order.
Yeah. So it seems as though maybe Dr. G might have put a restraining order on King because of whatever transpired, which is troublesome for Quad because if he puts the restraining order on him and he's a cast member, he would get Trump King basically, and so King wouldn't be able to film with Quad.
But I think that's like a pussy move because y'all was both fighting together. It's not like he just came and attacked you. And Greg, you got a little smart, little high-pitched mouth, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you are not innocent. So hopefully
I said man up.
Right. Hopefully if it's a restraining order, it's a mutual one. But I don't even see King doing like that because like, why are you running the police and you was starting to mess Karen? He Kevin. If that's the case, we calling him Kevin for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, man, listen. She had to be uncomfortable when your new wife stepped on the scene, and yes, she was a little petty and stuff, but she never tried to play Trump a card to get her out of there.
Right.
Now you can't take the heat. So you want her man to get out the kitchen? That's not fair.
Right. Like, he doesn't very bothered. Yeah.
He's intimidated by King. And so we'll see what happens with that. But it seemed like the second half gonna get it cracking. So it's been a pretty good season though.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Toya was like the group is back fractured, so I definitely think something is happening to where they can't be together. But the group ain't never been a whole. Like and Contessa ain't letting they issue go.
No, I would if I was Contessa. No, I could probably call it Contessa. If I was Contessa, I wouldn't be able to let it go either. Because you talking about my deceased mother is like beyond, and
standing on it
her
too.
husband, and double down, triple down on it. Like Heavenly's out of control. So then we see whatever happens between Heavenly and Phaedra, because Phaedra's calling her the devil's angel or something like that. And so
which is probably why she going so hard on her about being on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot that transpires because they said that Phaedra left the trip early, allegedly
on a PJ
jet. And Apollo, it seems like Apollo has something to say about her dating the new guy because Apollo knows the new guy. So apparently he has something to say about that. Now, I wonder, did Apollo's wife come on the trip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't seen her in the
But Phaedra's not bothered by the new
no
wife.
at all. No. I was just wondering because I'm like, but I mean, we'll see. But it seems like he steps in on her business and they kind of like get into it a little bit. And Heavenly probably has something to say in Apollo's defense because she don't like Phaedra. So
didn't she invite Apollo?
she did.
Yeah.
She did.
So
She
that's
said
probably
that's her
why.
friend or something.
That's probably why Phaedra is calling her the devil. Because why would you invite my ex?
Like, well, she told her. She called her ahead of time.
Did she call her ahead of time, or did she tell her on the trip?
No, this past episode, she called ahead of time. She said, "Hey, I'm friends with Apollo, and he is one of my clients. I saw him the other day, and I thought it would be good if he came on a trip." And Phaedra said, "I don't have a problem with that. Like, we cool. Like, it don't bother me." She said, "But don't tell any other ladies. Let's let it be a surprise." And so that's how that went down. So Phaedra wasn't bothered that he was coming. She knew. But I think once he tried to step into her relationship or her new, boy toy, that probably irritated her. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into these reviews. So we ain't talking about Love and Hip Hop or Atlanta or Miami this week. Like, it's not really a lot to talk about. Same thing, same drama.
Yeah, it's the same manufactured drama. We're over it.
Right. So let's get to Beverly Hills.
Yes.
So it starts off with Kyle calling a little powwow lunch. Or dinner, I should say, it was just Sutton, Garcelle and Erica, right?
Yeah. So she it seemed as though she wanted to meet with them to kind of like smooth things over, because when she left the spa day, it seemed like everybody was kind of against her. So I think she wanted to plead her case to that group before they went and met with the big group.
Yeah, because Bose wasn't gonna let her slide.
Nah.
No.
She was Bose. I love Bose.
Yeah, I do too. Bose is gonna hold you accountable. She's gonna be very polite about it, but she's gonna make sure you was wrong. And I agree. So this is past a little powwow dinner, but like she should have apologized to Bose for leaving her house the way she did.
Absolutely, it's rude.
Right.
She put on, and then you caused a scene. She put all this stuff together for you guys. Anytime you disrupt a party at somebody's house, you should be calling them first. Yeah, so I definitely agree. I think
all out inside on the front of the street where my neighbors could see, like,
right. In Hancock Park?
Right.
How dare you?
Right. Are you crazy?
Right, girl. We don't do that around here.
Right. Go back to Indiana with that.
So they had this little lunch or whatever, and I don't know. It was weird. Was that at the lunch where, yes, at the lunch, Sutton was like, so Kyle basically apologized to them, and she was just like, that was out of character for me. Like, I just felt like my back was against the wall. Like, I shouldn't have acted that way. That was not good enough for Sutton. Sutton wanted her to be specific about what she was apologizing for.
I'm with Sutton.
Yeah, she wanted to know. She wanted to make sure. But here's my thing with Sutton. I feel like she came on very strong, but with good reason, because with Sutton, whenever she stormed out or whenever she did something,
they come for her.
One. Yeah. And Kai was the first one to be like, you always act like this. Now, granted, Sutton was a little cuckoo for the Cocos. Was it cuckoo for the Cocoa Nest or whatever?
Cuckoo Puffs.
Was that last year? Yeah. Last year, she had a lot going on, and it was just seeming like she was just doing very weird stuff. Like the whole, and then what? And then what? And then
right.
What? Like every time, every conversation. And it was usually towards Kyle. So with that, Kyle was just like, girl, what is wrong with you? So I think it was within good reason what Kyle was doing. But Sutton was like,
But Kyle, I'm not even just talking about with Sutton. Kyle does that with everybody. Kyle thinks that she is the moral compass and she got to make sure everybody. Right. And I love how on this season, I don't know what Kyle did to piss off them producers, but every time she tell a lie or every time she say she don't do stuff, they show the clips of her doing it.
Popping it up on the screen. Yeah. Yeah. Like, so, I mean, which is good because you need to keep everybody accountable. What I will say was different about Kyle. Now, whether she is apologizing to like just clean it up for whatever reason she has, at least she's forthcoming and she is apologizing for her actions, because that's very different from Sutton. Sutton will have excuses as to why she acted the way she acted. She will look confused, like, but I think with this whole conversation, Sutton was just like, no, I want you to tell me everything. And she's like, well, I'm sorry for everything. She's like, that's not good enough.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry for everything isn't good enough, because
it's not. It's not. But I do think that she explained what she was apologizing for. She was apologizing for storming out. She was apologizing for
the
going
people
off on everybody.
She's apologizing for storming out to the people who had nothing to do with the event. You don't need to apologize to them for storming out. That's not.
No, I think they all did want an apology because they were all present. Now, granted, she should have apologized to Bose as well, but the people she was in front of was the people she was in front of.
Right.
So
but I'm saying as far they definitely needed an apology for something, but like she didn't storm out of their house or like their event. So I don't get why she would be apologizing to them for storming out. Maybe like I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it would have been more appropriate for her to say, I apologize for calling you guys, whatever she called them. She said something towards them specifically, right? She said something about the group. So I think that is what Sutton probably was looking for.
Yeah. So then we get to so what was this? What did Dorit say the thing about Jack? No. So okay, so Sutton was being rude the whole episode. So they had Kyle's house getting ready to go to Garcelle's house, and Dorit is like telling them about how Jagger asked her if her and PK were getting a divorce and all of this stuff. And Sutton is like, yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're running late, like, and it's going to be all good vibes. So we don't even need to bring that up. Like, Sutton.
So rude.
Right, like we get it, like y'all want to have a good time, but you guys are not at Garcelle's house. It's okay for her to talk about how she's hurt that her child found out they were in a divorce. She's been trying to protect him this whole time, and now he asked her that question. Like, that's a little like jarring. Like, what happened? How did you find out that information?
Right. And if you're so worried about keeping the time, when everybody got there, you should have said, let's continue this conversation in a truck or whatever.
Right.
But to interrupt her right at the meat of what she was talking about was like, oh my gosh, did you really just do that?
Yeah. She was rude.
Yeah, it was very rude. And I feel bad for Dorit because it's like, dang, who showed you? Did he be on Instagram? Like, how did he see your Instagram posts?
I think he's too young for Instagram, and like, I don't know. Maybe
somebody
PK told him. I don't know. Maybe PK told him.
Right. Or kids have access to iPads and stuff like that. Kids be smart too. Like, I know my mama on TV. Let me see what she got going on. Like, nosy. Or also because the kids know something is wrong. Dad doesn't live here anymore. Like, we always have to schedule time to see him. And, in that world, a lot of the kids' friends are divorced. Parents are divorced. And so it's a normal thing to know what the signs are. He could have went to school and be like, hey, your parents do X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, they're divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was thinking maybe one of the kids at school told him.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it sucks, but that is a part of the journey. So hopefully the ladies can kind of like rally around and help her.
Child, Sutton ain't rallying nothing.
Not Sutton, but like Garcelle and like.
No, I know what you mean.
Sutton is over Sutton irritates me though because she seems bothered by everyone's issues. Like, she ain't never had no issues, and I just feel like that's completely unfair.
But I feel like she feels like the reason why she doesn't be like rallying them around them when they have issues is because she don't feel like they do that for her. Like, when she has an issue, they always feel like it's so minimal. So they don't really like pay her a lot of attention. And then when granted, to them they are, but for her it's a big deal. Like, at least, acknowledge it. Like, but so that's why when they be having issues, she just be like over them, like, cause this what y'all do to me.
So rude. But yeah. And then we get to the beach party, and I would have like, girl, did you check the weather?
Right. And why you give us those nasty outfits? Like, at least let us have something cute. I didn't find one cute outfit. Like,
I liked I think Dorit's was cute, or like for a lounge, like it was like giving older lady like going to the jazz, like
Child, Dorit is not an older lady. Like, let us wear our own clothes, okay?
Right. Erica didn't change her clothes. She put the little pink thing over what she already had on. And the other lady who kind of doesn't say much, that brought the gift. That was a nice toaster.
Oh, what's her name? I know who you're talking about.
She put
I like her too, though.
Yeah, I like her. She put the pants on under her outfit and like, try to suddenly look a mess with her shorts up to her navel. But yeah, the outfits were terrible. They didn't even go with the aesthetic of the beach party. So I really didn't understand it. I'm like, maybe that was like somebody that she knows, clothing line or something. I don't know.
And then they didn't at least make them like match or have like a theme or something.
Yeah, they were all over the place. The colors were just like, it was very chaotic. Like I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand that. But so they go to the beach. Kyle and Dorit have their conversation. What do you think about their conversation?
I don't think it's over. Honestly, with Dorit and Kyle, like I just feel like all this drama about this text message is all just like something so that we don't really talk about they don't really talk about their divorce. Like they're so up and all and like biting on to this text message thing that they don't really get to go into depth of why they're divorcing, why PK was always in London, why Mo out here slanging it to every young little thing that he could find. Like they super on the text message. Yeah. So
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, in Kyle Dorit, they've gone back and forth in their relationship the whole time that they have been friends, and so, like you said, it probably is not over. Kyle's not being completely honest, so I wouldn't be surprised if something else came out too, because she's for whatever reason she's hiding something else. I don't feel like, even with the whole like the whole text message thing, like she's saying it's just memes, then it's like a whole conversation, like it's just like, I don't know, I feel like it's more to the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's that.
But it seemed like Sutton is gonna be putting her foot in the mouth for the rest of this season, her and her mama, because the way her mama came for Garcelle, I said, oh, she a little spicy,
and she is a Southern Caucasian lady, so ain't no, I don't like that.
Yeah, Garcelle, she checked the hell out of Garcelle. She said, well, I didn't really ask for your opinion.
I'm like, girl, what?
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay then. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Roni.
Right. So Roni was the Bryn accountability session. That's what
they hit the ground running on Bryn. And Bryn was completely caught off guard because they didn't get to see the last episode until they got on set to film the reunion. She's watching it as she's getting her makeup done. Before that, she goes up to Jessel and she's like, so everything's good, right? Jessel like, girl, you crazy? You clearly didn't watch the show.
Right. Like, why would everything be good, girl? Like, no, get away from me.
Not at all. Yeah. So we get there and Bryn immediately with the tears, like,
not taking no accountability. I'm the victim. Oh, like, girl, Bryn gets on my nerves. Like, I can't.
And then she's coming for Sai and she's coming for Aaron, saying that they made her miserable for 4 months or however long she said.
Right.
And they're like, what? Name it, prove it. What are you talking about? And I think it was just a deflection. Like, she clearly knew that the heat was going to be on her the entire reunion. So she's like, okay, let me sink my nails into someone else first. Like, you guys made my life a living hell. How?
Right.
Like, it was a reach.
And then, like, I love that they went back and showed the fact that she's the one who started the conversation about Jessel and like all the beef. Like, she was trying to make it seem like Aaron and Sai was talking about Jessel, and she just did it so that they could come and be friends again. And it's like, no, boo, you the one who brought it back up. Like,
and you brought it up to bond with them at her expense.
Right. And then stop her telling she's like the bad telephone. Like, they was talking about how the whole thing with Rebecca, that rumor, how she told Jenna that Sai hated her, but there was no proof. Like,
right. And she tried to say, well, I'm just honest. I just tell people the things that they say, that everybody's saying about them. But you add on extras.
Right.
Like, no, I don't. Girl, did you just see the playback?
Right. I'm glad that Jenna is finally holding her accountable. Like, no, like stop, just shut up and just say you're sorry. Like, we don't care about your whole like spiel and how you feel like you're gonna flip it. Like, just apologize.
Yeah, because you're at the end of the day, you're coming for Jessel's marriage in a way that is just completely wrong, because now you have her husband questioning her loyalty to him over something that didn't even happen.
Right. Like, she didn't even really apologize. Like, it was almost like a apology, but like, I'm still the victim kind of thing. Like, girl, what?
Especially when Jenna was like, you know what? Don't even say anything. You shouldn't be saying anything except for apologizing. She turned her face up and was like, well, she was like, no, Jenna was not having it that day. And we was like, finally, Jenna, because you just been letting this girl run amok and you just standing beside her. And it's like,
right. She's enabling her. She's the reason why she feels like she could keep doing that.
Yeah, because she got you. You're going to have her back regardless. And that's just not unfair to everybody else.
Child, I just realized you can see my ghetto nails in this every time I drink my drink.
Don't judge her, y'all. She got an appointment tomorrow. Do not judge. We listen, we watch, and we don't judge.
Right. But okay, so she finally tells her story about when she got raped. And I'm trying to, okay, so I get it. Like, everybody doesn't feel comfortable immediately, like, going and reporting it. Yeah. But like, she sees this person all the time. Like, she's uncomfortable. She's battling stuff. Like, I don't get the whole like not pressing charges thing like that.
Right. I wonder if it's for me. I wonder. It's New York. I wonder if it's someone very influential, or because sometimes when you're going to get somebody in a position of power, it could be scary to do that. And I think with the type of circles that she runs in and the fact that she still sees this person all the time, it could be someone in a position of power. And because she, like she said, when you don't have any proof, you don't have any evidence, people tend to not believe you, especially a woman like her, where I'm not saying that she's lying about this, but she lies about a lot of other things. And if she's doing that on this show, who knows what she's doing in real life? And if she has a reputation of lying, people might not believe her, especially if this person is more reputable or, they're put on a higher pedestal. So I think a lot of times victims that are in that type of situation, they might not be as easy to speak up. And someone like her who has like low self-esteem and like she feels the type of way about herself, sometimes they say to themselves like, well, what did I do to cause this? Or I did this to myself. Like, there's this whole like thing of like taking ownership of it instead of putting it on the other person. So I can see why.
Go ahead.
Maybe. No, I was just saying I can see why maybe.
But my thing is, when you don't report it, it just gives them the ability to keep doing it.
Exactly.
So like, I don't know.
Exactly. I watch a lot of Law and Order SVU.
Because who knows? Right. It might be other victims.
That's what I think Aaron was saying that. Somebody was saying like it is good to come forward because you don't know how many other women that you could save by getting this person convicted.
Right.
And sometimes all it takes for one person to say something and then
other people come out the woodworks, because they like, even if she doesn't have like DNA or whatever, they still have to investigate it if she reports it. So like, you never know who else will come out as being a victim too.
Right. Very, very true. So if anybody listening to this and this ever happened to you, first thing you want to do is get a rape kit, because a rape kit, sorry. Whether you're going to report the person or not, at least you have that on file.
Right.
Like, don't take a shower. Like, don't go in the clothes.
Right. If you don't go, that's what I was gonna say. If you don't go immediately to the police station, at least don't throw away like your underwear and stuff like that if you keep it, or anything that might have DNA.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the first thing I learned on Law and Order. Do not shower and don't get rid of anything.
And if you got nails and you think you scratched them, clip them off and put them in a little Ziploc.
Yeah, just save it. Because even if you're not ready that day to report that person, you never know when you get the strength. At least you have all the evidence when you do decide to come forward. And I know that probably sounds crazy. Like, who would have the strength to do all that? Listen, you never know.
Right.
But we pray that that does not happen to anyone. But,
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, it was also like really telling about Uba's character when Bryn is like telling her story and she's like all upset, and you look at Uba across and she's like crying like
So compassionate.
uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I'm like, that's another reason why I'm like with the girls, like I don't feel like they really knew Uba because like if they knew her like just based off of how she was after the girl wronged her, like imagine if they were friends and she told her that, how she would have been there for her. Like I don't understand how they would think that she knew and just was like, I don't care.
Right. And I feel like Uba's the type of person that would even be defending her if someone was coming against her. Like she's going through a lot, just like, you know,
Right.
But yeah, like you said, if I was Uba, that would probably hurt me the most too, is that all these people who claim to be my friend and really know me would do something like that. Just jump to conclusions.
Yeah. So then the story wraps up. I think we kind of already touched on it with Jessel going for Bryn. But like my thing about this part was, okay, so they question Jessel and they're like complimenting her on how good she looks and asking her what work she's done. And I just feel like it was weird that they kept pressing her to tell them every single thing they got done. Like
and you didn't go around the circle and do that to everybody else.
Right. On any other episode, I mean, any other reunion show or Housewives franchise, if somebody gets work done, they'll ask. And if they say, oh, yeah, I got a little refresher, that's it. They move on. But they literally hounded.
And what else? And what else?
And what else? I just thought that was so weird. Like, why?
And who cares? She looks great.
Right. I think Jessel gotta put her big girl panties on and just start shutting them down.
Business. She needs to start speaking up for herself. She's a little bit too timid, and because they come for her, they tease her, they treat her like they can come for her because she
and she needs to stop. Like even with Andy, like, look, I told you what I got done. I don't need to tell you every single thing I got done. Why does it matter?
Like, well, I wasn't done, and then he's like chastising her, like, well, are you done now?
Right.
So you got this, and then the list it off again. So you got this, and this, and that's it.
Right.
Well, what else do you want her to say?
Right. I got a whole face transplant. I got my jaws transplanted too because I just wanted to make a whole new look.
And then they showed a flashback, and she does look very different. Like her nose looks different. Of course, she got lip fillers, and you can tell she got like some fillers here. But looking at the little flashback picture, I was like, oh, she does look very different.
Look, just tell her she look good and keep it moving. She don't need to go down her whole list. Are you gonna go to her doctor and get it? And then I didn't like how Bryn was trying to press her about if she paid for it. Girl, are you gonna pay for it if I didn't? Like, it's not your business. Like, you need to relax.
Yeah, she's like, oh, well, I know I recommended my friend to her and she didn't pay her. She's like, they forget Jessel is a freaking influencer.
Right.
People do it all the time. They film the whole process so that they don't have to pay for it. And it's promo for the work.
Yeah.
Who cares if she didn't pay?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling how they was doing Jessel.
Yeah, I want Jessel next season to stand on business and kind of like let them know, don't play with me.
Right.
Or my man.
Stop playing in my face.
Right. I can play with him, but y'all don't play with him. Okay.
Right. I need her to channel Uba. She been hanging out with Uba. I need her to get Uba's energy. Start calling them bras pigeons and everything.
Right. Okay. Uba looked great, by the way.
Oh, her makeup was fire. Like she came. I think she was the best one. But
I agree.
I thought I was gonna hate Jenna with the robe on, and I actually, I liked it for her.
Yeah, it was. I wish they would have let her keep her glasses on though, or she would have put on a lash or something. Because when they took the glasses off, I was like, oh, but she looked fresh. You know, it was a look. I think Jessel looked great. I wasn't crazy about her dress, but I think she looked. But something was going on, like under her eyes was looking a little gray or something. That was weird. But I think she looked good, and I didn't understand size dress. I mean, I understood it, but I didn't care for it.
Listen, ever since first season, like I ain't been really feeling size looks.
And then it's like, who blew out her hair?
I don't know. She needs to go back to her people from the season 1 because they've been doing her dirty.
Yeah, I agree. This season was a miss.
Child.
She didn't have her hair.
After she came with that Jerry curl to that store, I was done.
It didn't look bad when she had it like wet, but when it dried, it was just like, "Oh, did you put mousse? We don't do mousse anymore." Like a soft curl.
Right. Child, it was too much.
All right, so let's move on to Salt Lake City reunion.
Yes, so Meredith says she had enough. She said, look, I came here. Y'all not about to smear my name. You play the audio of this lady saying that. Meredith didn't say it, or I'm out here. I said, well, dang, Meredith, you better make your demands, okay?
She was standing on business, literally standing up in their face like, Andy,
right.
You guys said you would play the audio. and Andy was trying to explain to her, like, this is what we have on tape. However, we do know this girl is a liar.
Right.
Because this is also what she said on tape. So we do have to recognize what was said.
Yeah.
Now, what's the truth?
Initially say, well, she didn't say Meredith. She said that girl or whatever.
Right.
It was implied it was Meredith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Meredith forced her to say, did I say that?
Right.
On camera, like, girl, you better tell the truth. And so it was contradictory, of course, but Monica was a known, she was a rehistorian.
I heard she's trying to get back on the show. I wonder, listen, it would be epic if they put Monica back on the show with Jen. Because I feel like Jen is gonna come back after she get out of jail, and I need Monica to be on the show so that she could defend herself.
Was short, I believe.
She getting out next year before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be a good little woo. Because I'm sick of Lisa. I can never see Lisa argue with anybody else.
Oh yeah,
ever again. I need somebody else. Because Lisa, she don't even listen to what the other person is saying. She just is yelling.
And she never, ever, ever takes accountability.
No.
That's so annoying. Like, girl, you are a grown woman. Like, she thinks she does no wrong.
Right.
So then we have Bronwyn. They're talking to Todd and Bronwyn about the whole talk about his affair. And she's kind of backpedaling because she's like, well, it wasn't a physical, it was more of an emotional, conversational type of affair, whatever. And they're like, girl, you was crying on the boat.
Heather was not having it. Heather said, girl, think again. I stood up for you. Okay. I had your back. Was it emotional or was it a real affair? Because listen, you done wasted my time. I rallied for you. I was talking about Lisa behind her back.
Yeah. I think Todd was like, look at here.
Right. Listen,
clean it up.
Todd is the man of that house. Okay. If he says whatever.
And he don't even live in that house.
Right.
I thought it was interesting too that Todd and Seth kind of bonded over it. Well, Todd made Seth bond with him over the whole, I live away, I come home on the weekends and da 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 da. He's like, I understand because that's kind of our setup and it does help our marriage and blah blah blah. If y'all have a marriage that y'all do better when y'all not around each other, that's not a healthy marriage.
Well, on Married at First Sight, Dr. Pepper says she don't live with her husband either.
I still stand on what I said.
Years.
It's not a healthy marriage.
I don't know.
The goal to have when you come into a partnership with someone, you are with that person. Marriage was intended for the man and the wife to live in the same household. If that's the case, why do y'all need to be married? Now, granted, I'm not going to judge anybody's relationship. Do I think it's healthy? No. It could work for them, but do I think it's healthy? No. It leaves a foothold for anything to happen. I don't even know what you do at your house. I don't know what you do with your finances. You could be sending a girl her monthly rent. You could be having her there all week before I come. Like, it's so many things that can happen. Of course, things can happen with a couple that's living in the same household as well. But I feel like when you're living apart or, you're spending 2-4, look at freaking Dorit and PK. We don't know if he cheated or not, but I'm just saying it just leaves room for chaos when you're not in community with each other. That's
I think stuff works for different people.
That's what I said. I think it works, but I don't think it's healthy.
I think it like in that type of situation, you definitely would have to have like excellent communication. And I wouldn't
and
say
trust.
right. And I wouldn't imagine, like, I would say, yeah, it probably could be unhealthy if you already had like turbulence in your relationship before making that decision, because there's no way you could trust somebody if y'all already had like, you know, trust issues and stuff. And then all of a sudden y'all gonna be living separate. It's like, you always gonna be wondering who over there. Da, da, da. But, you know, maybe they got cameras. Maybe you could just pull up the camera and see what's going on at the house whenever you feel like it. I don't know. But
I
it
just feel
would be
like
my choice. But
I wouldn't want to be married, because to me the greatest thing about being married is having that partner with you to do things with, to talk to every day, to have coffee with in the morning. Like, those are the things that I personally enjoy about marriage, and it connects me to my partner. And when my husband is away for 2 days, I miss him. Like, just doing the day-to-day things that we do. Now, there's some people who don't really like their partner that much. And so for people that don't, because you can love someone, and I was talking to my friend about this last night, like, you can love someone and not like them. And so I think to the people who don't like their partner and don't like being around their partner, that's why it works for them, because they're happier when they're not around. But for someone that actually enjoys being with their partner, likes having fun with their partner and doing those things, then it looks different. So that's probably why I have a different perspective, because I love being around my husband. Now, granted, we've been married for 10 years, and someone like Dr. Pepper, she probably been married for like 40 years. So she probably can't stand that man. So, you know, I'll check back in with y'all in another 20. But I hope and pray that we're still the same, because I feel like that's the whole point, is to, you know, have a life partner. Anyway,
yeah. So then Mary, she talks about her son, and everybody got emotional. Everybody was in there crying about how
I was on the couch crying.
how brave Mary was for talking about her son, and how brave he was for bringing it to, you know, the forefront, and how he had inspired every like different families, and like they were able to talk to their kids and stuff. I thought that was good.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that they affirmed her and shared, like Whitney sharing about her experience with her father. And you know, it's hard to watch, because you hate to see somebody's family going through something like that. But like Heather said, it was a conversational piece for her to talk to her children about, you know, what could be going on within, with her kids being in college. Who knows the type, you know, the type of drugs and stuff that are out there that kids experiment with, and opening up that conversation. So I do commend Mary for being that open to share her business, child, because I feel like that takes a lot. You have to open it up to public scrutiny. You already on a reality show with all your business out there. Now you exposing your child, who you want to protect. And then, you know, him to expose himself and his relationship and things that he has going on. So I hope that his sobriety continues. And I'm curious about the wife.
Oh yeah, I think she was saying that when he came back, he doesn't really talk to those people. So I wonder. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, if he's still with the wife, because they was doing drugs together.
Yeah, and the last I saw Mary, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she said that not this recent episode, but before, she said that the wife was still in rehab.
Yeah.
So,
but that's good though that they're doing it together, because I feel like if she comes out and she really works on being sober, that it could be a good thing. I mean, if they both have the same type of goals for life.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it was interesting that not Mary, Meredith was sitting on the couch salty because Mary decided to talk to Angie instead of her about it. And it's like, I think what Mary was saying, like, girl, you got a lot going on. Like, I'm not one to want to palm my business out on, and I'm not going to like seek you to like tell you this. Like, me and Angie hang out all the time. So that's why, right. That's why I was able to open up to her. Like, we don't have that type of relationship. So,
yeah. And it made sense, because as the camera panned around the room and they're sharing the story, Meredith was the only one looking like this. She didn't shed not one tear, not saying she had to cry or anything, because some people are not emotional, but she didn't evoke any type of emotion. She was just kind of like stone faced. And then as soon as the conversation kind of broke to where she could mention it, that's the first thing that she says. But I was just like curious of if she talked to her about it or at all. So I was happy to see that they did chat or whatever. And Mary kind of reassured her, like, you know, I am your friend. I want you to get right with my best friend.
Yeah.
You can get right with her.
Right.
But
and I love Angie and Mary's friendship, because even when she was talking to Angie, and Angie was like telling her about her mom, and she was like, yeah, I know if your mom could, she would have done it differently. Like, I know that meant the world to Angie, because you know, Angie, she's very affected by how her mom was, and her mom was an alcoholic, and you know, she probably needed to hear somebody saying, you know, if your mom could do it again differently, she would. Like, you know,
she said that. She was just like, nobody has ever said anything like that to me. So thank you. I really enjoy watching their friendship bloom, because I feel like they clearly have the most genuine friendship on the show.
Right.
And I just hope the ladies don't try to come in between that, because that's usually what happens on these shows. Like, they hate that somebody has a tight bond, and they did have a hiccup and they talked through it. So,
like friends do. And they didn't have to go to the gutter to get resolution. Like, you know, even though they were upset with each other, they still respected each other, and it showed that they actually cared and wanted to have a friendship. Like, when Angie found out that Meredith was mad at her, she was like, wait, hold up. What happened? Let's talk about it. Like,
and that's how you do it. That's what real friends should do. You know, bring it to the forefront, put it out there so you can, let's hurry up and get through this so we can be cool again. Like,
right. Yeah,
it's refreshing for sure.
Yeah, y'all. So that pretty much wraps up this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are still with us, please like and subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and put on your bell notifications, because you never know when we're gonna go live. Bye, y'all.
Bye.